Hi friends, Shannon here with creative crew member with Kat Scrappiness. This is the card I'll be creating for today's video hop. This is for the fork and farm release. And let me grab the stamp set and let you see. This is a stamp set for the new release, and it has lots of funny, really snarky sentiments. First one's, hey y'all, welcome to the funny farm. This is how we roll. We may not have it all together, but together we have it all. Rise and shine, mother cluckers. Life is better on the farm. You are so forking cute. Stop forking around. I forking love you. Farm sweet farm. How about a roll in the hay? Together is our favorite place to be. Like I said, snarky, funny sentiments. Today, I'm going to create this card, and the other item from our newest release is the burlap background stencil. And that is how I create all that texture in the background, you know, the grid kind of. It's going to be a staple of my craft collection right now, or since it's been released. The other items I'm using is from the last release is the I'm Here For You Shadow Sentiment die and the layered poinsettias, or poinsettia. And I'm going to use the smallest and the second to the smallest to create my sunflower type looking flowers. So it's just, I really love adding flowers to my cards, and I just wanted to find something that I could use, you know, kind of use a little bit differently. So I really love this layered poinsettia die set. So let's get started by ink blending a piece of cardstock. I'm using Distress inks in Prize Ribbon and Chipped Sapphire. And starting with the Prize Ribbon, I'm going to ink up my blending brush, and I'm going to, oh, you know what I'm going to do is grab a piece of Post-it tape to put on my fingers, so I don't leave fingerprints on my ink blending. And I'm just going to come around the border of, or the perimeter of this panel and kind of create that highlight area in the center by inking up the perimeter. And starting with the Prize Ribbon, going around, coming in about an inch, inch and a quarter. Create that highlight in the center. It just looks nice and bright and really ties the whole card together when you have the different, I guess the alternating depth of color. Yeah, I'm trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about. And after the Prize Ribbon, we'll use some Chipped Sapphire, which is just a much darker blue. And we'll kind of blend that out to the center, leaving the center much lighter. And I use the same ink blending brush for the darker color. That's one of the reasons why you start with the lighter color. But okay, now coming in with the Chipped Sapphire, and now I'm only bringing that out about a half of an inch from the edge. Really trying to darken up that edge. Like I said before, this video is part of the video hop for the Fork and Farm release. If you'd like to participate, there are links in the description box below. You can win, enter to win a $15 gift card to the Kat Scrappiness store by completing the Rafflecopter form. The link is in the description box, and you are able to complete the Rafflecopter form at each stop on the hop. The list of videos in the hop, that link is also found in the description box below. Okay, let's see, I think we need a little bit more over here. Looks good. Now I'm going to use the same, no, we're going to use the Prize Ribbon for the stencil. Bring in my turntable with my waffle flower grit mat. You can find the waffle flower grit mat if we still have them in stock. They were selling them at the Kat Scrappiness store. They are an awesome tool when it comes to stenciling, because it holds your cardstock in place and also your stencil. So I'm just going to, whoops, press my stencil down onto the grit mat, and it should hold on to it. I say should. I haven't been cleaning it very well, so it might not have as much stick as it used to. I need to take it to the sink and rinse it off occasionally to get that stick started again. Okay, so we're just going over the already stenciled background Just bring in some more of the prize ribbon ink. It'll give us a nice texture to our background. There we go. There, that looks nice. So we're done with that. I'm going to clean this up and we'll do some ink splattering after that. To do my splattering, I'm going to use the pearl powder in the color gold. And what I do is I laid down a cloth to protect most of my surface. Spray a couple of sprays on my glass mat, and I'll just take a little bit of this gold powder out with the end of my brush and mix that into the water. I think we can use a little more. There we go. Mix that in. Clean off one end of the brush. Then I will saturate the bristles of my brush, and I usually tap off first to make sure that I'm not getting any gigantic splatters, and tap it on the brush handle on my finger and let the splatters fly. I used to take my cards into the bathroom to do this so that I wouldn't create a mess, and also to prevent any splatter from getting on the lens of my camera. But since then I have bought a UV filter that covers the lens of my camera to protect it from any splatters, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, let me clean this up and we'll get to making those flowers. I've gone ahead and die cut the layers to the flower, and I've ink blended one cluster or bunch of die cuts for the one flower and adhered them all together. I'm just for the sake of time. Excuse me. I've got mustard seed ink. Oh, what I was going to mention is I'm using 2 of the small layers and 1 of the larger layers. So the 2 of the small layers in the yellow color, and then the 1 of the larger layers in the green color. Those are going to be the leaves. These are the flower petals. So inking up my brush, start in the center of the flower, just circling round and round, try to get that darkest color at the base of these petals. Then push out towards the tip of the petals, leaving those the lightest at the ends. There we go. And I'm going to flip this over, and just with the remaining ink, get my little tape here, make sure I don't have any blue left on it. Remaining ink, just inking up the underside of the petals. There we go. Then our next color is fossilized amber. And I'm using a smaller blending brush for this. And again, I'm starting in the center, and I'm going to brush out like in between each of the petals to try to just grab the edges of those petals. Is done. And next I'm going to use peeled paint distress ink for the leaves, and I'm going to do similar, whoops, I am just a clumsy mess today. Similar to the flower petals, I'm going to start in the middle, ink that up just by swirling around. Another thing that this is good for is it takes away all those die cut hairs when you swirl the brush around like that. And starting from the center and pulling out, I want it darkest at the base of the leaves, coming out to a lighter color at the tip. And just like I did with the flowers, I'm going to flip this over, and just with the remaining ink, ink up the rest of the leaves. There we go. Set this aside, and I'm going to bring out a microfiber cloth and flip the leaves onto, or the leaves and the flower petals onto their back, so they're facing up, or the top is facing up. Yeah. And what I have here is a spray bottle with the white gold pearl powder with water, and I'm just going to shake this up. And what I usually do is about 1/4 of a teaspoon to about 4 ounces of water to create a shimmer powder. And I'm going to saturate my leaves from the top, or leaves and petals. There we go. Then I'm going to take the towel and I'm going to blot up some of that excess liquid. Now I'm going to bring in my heat tool and I'm just going to dry them off a little bit. Next I'm going to bring in a foam pad. This is about a 1/2 inch thick foam pad. It came in a kit, a flower forming kit, with some of these ball styluses, and that's what we're going to use to shape our flowers and leaves. So with my largest ball, and this is probably between 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch, I'm starting from the tip of the leaf on the underside, and I'm going to just outline the edge, pushing down and pulling in towards the center of the cluster. And then around the opposite side, doing the same thing. And what that's going to do is give us lots of dimension on our flower clusters and leaves. And I'll repeat this all the way around. Then when I'm finished, flip it over so the top is facing up, and then in the center with the smaller ball stylus, this is closer to between 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch. I would say it's probably about 1/2 inch diameter. Just spin this around and give it a nice press, and that's going to make those leaves kind of come together. Then I'm going to set that aside and let it dry. And I'm going to repeat the same process for the flower petals, but I'm going to start with the smaller one, the smaller ball stylus. And I will speed this up and let you listen to some music while I finish these two up. To start out, I'm going to clip off one of these leaves right at the base. So then I only have 4 leaves. I'm just trying to reduce the amount that will stick out on the outside of the card because I'm clustering or putting the cluster right at the corner of the card. So that's my reasoning for that. And I'm also going to cut a little slit right in the center, kind of open that up a little bit. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of glue and start layering my flower. And with my darker layer, let's see, I think it goes like this. Add that, offsetting the leaves in between the petals, with an exception of this one, since I cut that one off. Add some more glue to the center. And let's see, there's 2 of these leaves are closer to each other than the others. And that's what I'm trying to determine when I do my offset, is put them and just give that a little press. And then the little center. For this little center, I just colored it with a brown Copic marker on both sides. I gave it a spray with the water mixture and used the ball stylus on the foam mat and pushed that in the center so that it will pop up the little, let me show you. So it pops up the little, I don't know what you call them, the little stamen thingies. So stick that right in the center. And then bring my card down. And, oops, it moved. There we go. I'll grab this and put some glue on the underside. There we go. And pop that in my corner. I'm going to use some gold thread and just wrap that around my hand about half a dozen times. And cut that with the scissor. Let's see. I'm going to take it off my hand and kind of wind it around. Cut off that dangly end. Tie this in a knot. Make myself a frilly little bow thingy. Oops. Glue on a dollop of glue. This turned out wider than I wanted it. That's okay though. Oops, it's stuck to my finger. Put another dollop of glue on top of it. And another dollop of glue over here. And I'll add a couple of clay hearts or white shaker hearts. Pick that up with my little jewel picker pokey tool. And that'll do it. Thank you for watching my presentation. Don't forget to like and subscribe for the videos, and look in the description box below for all of the video hop information. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.